All I ever wanted was you, but you left me alone inside these empty, broken walls. And I can't see it clearly, but it's obvious. I know that you left me alone inside this empty, broken hall. And now you'll be the reason why my soul is tainted. Somebody help me, 'cause I'm feeling trapped and I don't
as we say goodbye to the regular season here at Daytona. We are ready to see who is going to take those final steps into the playoffs as we, as I already mentioned, bring a close to the season. And it's been a long one. Round 15 here at the World Center of Speed as just witnessed a lot of people crashing out. But anyway, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this one here on ESPN. My name is Sam Cooper Bennett here. And we are ready to go. We're ready to start rocking here. And joining me in the booth to join the occasion is Mr. Frank Marchese. And Frank, we've got some new overlays here. But it's going to be the action down on the track that's most important here as we round things off for the regular season.
Yes, certainly. We got, 4 or 5 drivers that are on the bubble here to at least point their way into the playoffs. Top 16 in the standings make it. Right now, Aaron Tribble is that point line. He is here in the number 86. Jason Papp just 3 points outside of the playoffs. Nicholas Wing 9 points out of the playoffs. And watch for Ryan Worley. He's up in 14th place in the standings, but only 13 points clear. So he is, if he has a bad day, he very well could be out of this thing by night's end.
Absolutely, as we start qualifying off with Connor Trafari out on track right now, and it's going to be an interesting show here for this one to see who can go grab those last spots in the playoffs. And this man in that number 48 machine is already locked in, so he doesn't really need to worry here tonight.
Yeah, no, he didn't need to worry really the entire season. Won the opener here at Daytona. So this is, he's been playing with house money really the entire season. If I were him though, get into a racing mode here this week, because next week you're going to really need to be in that mode.
Yeah, as we return to the trucks, I believe, next week at Talladega. Yes. So that's going to be a real fun one. I mean, 4 wide in the trucks is going to be interesting. We've seen that all season. As we're still looking at Connor Trafari here, he's actually, we're going to bring up the brand new ticker. And I like this ticker. I do. It's kind of blocking the qualifying mode, but it is what it is. As Cody Smith going to the top of the board.
Yes, Cody Smith with that 50.195, and again, only 1 lap to get it done, so you got to be quick right out of the gate. No second chances here.
Absolutely, Joe Francis going up to second place here as Cody Smith already down to third as Michael Anthony in that was it? What did you say? Candy apple, red and black.
Yes.
Toyota going to the pole.
Thing is gorgeous under the lights. Kyle Smalley going through turn 2 on his lap.
You see him right there in the blue and white Toyota driving for balls out as he's having to join his teammate up there on that front row. And we've not seen much of Kyle Smalley in the latter part of this season, but here he is again. He's going to finish this one out at least anyway.
Yeah, and I'm just going back here. I believe Smalley is not in playoff contention, so he's been focusing mostly on the Monday series, which their final race is coming up this weekend. So kind of a shift of focus for the driver of the 46.
Yeah, and here's one of the drivers that's been in contention to make the playoffs, and that is Ryan Worley as he makes his way into turns 1 and 2. Let's see what he can do on his qualifying lap. He's already in the green here, Frank, and looking good for his time. No purple, though.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, and that's what he's going to need. But really all he needs to do is just stay out of the wrecks here tonight, just to finish with a decent finish as he qualifies only 6/600ths of a second off of the pole time. Usually that's good enough to get you second or third. Here, 13th.
Greg McConey out on track as well. He's driving a bit of a different paint scheme here tonight in the I believe that's a body part number 12. It's red and white. So a bit of body armor. I apologize to the sponsor of that machine. Running the red and white this time. We usually see him in gold and black. So a bit of a new dynamic there for Mr. McConey.
Yeah, and looking really good. Again, these cars really, especially the guys who put red in their cars, really seeming to pop under the lights here at Daytona. Loving it. Just love to see it.
Yeah, you love to see it. As we see Scott Warren jump up to third place in the This Is War number 17. We'll go to him in just a second, but we're still focused on Greg McConey as he comes through 3 and 4. Let's see what he can put down in this number 12 now as he comes down towards the line. And he's running out of time, so never mind.
Yep. Boy, he ran out of time right as he got into the dry oval. So that's a little bit of a pain for McConey. But for Greg, he is pretty securely in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, as we go to the grid for tonight's race, and starting up on the pole will be Michael Anthony. He'll be joined on the front row by Nick Kessler. I didn't put a title at the top of this one, but never mind. Row 2 will be Scott Warren and Kyle Smalley. Row 3 will be Mark Mann and Brody Smith. Row 4 will be Cody Smith and Chris Worrell. Row 5 will be Marcus Adams and Joe Francis. Row 6, I didn't go to row 6, never mind. Row 6 will be James Lowe and Connor Trafari, and row 7 will be Brandon Wilson and Ryan Worley, Frank.
Aaron Tribble and Zishan Duera, the last of the qualifiers, will make up row 8. Row 9 will be Rick Seabrands and James Cato. Row 10, Greg McConey and Zach Bowerman. Row 11, Nicholas Wing and Elijah Innes. Row 12, Gene Cato and Jason Kinzer. And making up the final position on this 25-car grid here tonight is going to be Jason Papp. And again, as I mentioned, the bubble drivers, Worley starting 14th, Tribble starting 15th, and Nicholas Wing and Jason Papp both not setting a time, starting 21st and 25th.
Yeah, as we are looking at the pace truck here, it's quite tall, so we can't see the cars behind it. But you can see the pace car driver there, looking as concentrated as always. As we are saying one more prayer for Cam this week. We see his picture in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. We've been doing this for the past few races now, saying prayers for Cam, who don't know, is recovering in hospital from a house fire, which unfortunately left him in hospital. But the good news is it is on the mend, and just good to see that he is recovering and having the amount of support that he has had as the young man. As it looks like Kinzer and Papp just going away from the grid there, and we're ready to go racing here now, Frank.
Yeah, we are, and exciting because this is for the guys that we have highlighted. This is going to be a very competitive race for them. It's going to need to be a very competitive race for them. Those are the guys that are on the bubble trying to make the playoffs. This could get very chippy, very tense. This is the longest race of the year. It's going to be 90 laps, and it's the last one before we come back here next week in the trucks to start that championship chase.
Yeah, and there's only going to be, 3 or 4 races, and then that's it?
5, I believe.
5, okay.
Yeah, 5. There's 3 at Daytona and 2 at Talladega.
And Talladega will be the first race we go to in the playoffs, so
nope.
Daytona's next.
We're coming back here in the trucks, and then it's Talladega, Daytona in Xfinity, and then Talladega, Daytona in the Cup cars. Daytona rounds out the season.
Well, I've been known to be wrong before, so in that case, Frank, why don't you get us going for the first time tonight?
Well, hopefully this will be right. As Michael Anthony leads them down, Nick Kessler starting to his outside. The pace truck is down and away. Green flag is out. Let's see who makes it into the playoffs for the iRacing East Superspeedway Series.
Yeah. As we see them go flying towards turn 1. And we're just going to be a bit patient here, because obviously we don't want to get too excited too early, because the excitement usually comes near the end. So let's see how this one pans out. It looks like the outside line already starting to falter here, but that won't take long. They'll come back by the lap's end.
Yeah, no, they'll definitely be fine. And go figure, there's Scott Warren in the 17 trying to make a move, as Kessler getting a little wiggly in that outside lane behind the 17. Warren wants that lead. He has a chance. Anyone who is not in the chase right now can still make it by winning here tonight. And I believe Scott Warren is one of those guys who, if he wins tonight, or actually, no, I'm looking at the results from last week. Oh, sorry. No, I'm still right. Scott Warren is one of those guys that if he wins, will be in the chase.
Yeah, as we bring up the timing tower for this one, as Michael Anthony is on the inside, Scott Warren on the outside. We've got the 22 of Brody Smith going down to the apron and just backing off ever so slightly. As they come towards turn 3 for the second time here tonight. This is, yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting one here tonight. Let's see who is going to come out on top of this one. At the moment, Michael Anthony, who, remember, is still chasing a race win, leading this thing as they come down and begin lap 3.
Even if Michael Anthony doesn't get that race win, though, he's sat in 3rd place in the point standings, so he is well and securely in this championship. But that's the fun of being Daytona. It doesn't matter who or where you are, you're still in line for this championship. Guys who are trying to point their way in on that bubble, it's going to be an interesting night for them.
Yep.
Kessler jump into the back.
As we're on board with Michael Anthony, let's go to Kessler, if I can find him. There he is. As they come through the tri-oval here, you see Brody Smith has dropped back as well. Connor Trafari is back there too. Zayshan Dura is back there, the number 4 of Nick Kessler. We were just talking about him just there. As we go back to the lead, Cody Smith now looking to the outside. That outside line's starting to really gain shape now.
Yeah, especially when it falls back off of Michael Anthony a little bit. It allows that second car to jump up into that outside lane. That right now is Mark Mann in the 04. That certainly helps move that outside lane along. Right now, those 3 on the outside holding steady as we come to complete lap 4.
Yeah, we've got the 99 of James Lowe on that outside as well. He's running a new paint scheme here tonight. Not gone is the neon green. And we have the orange and black on the 99 this week, as it looks like Cody Smith might lead them down to the line. But here comes a big run now from Michael Anthony. Big push from Mark Mann. And across the line, give that one to Michael Anthony.
Yeah, only 4 cars right now making up that outside lane. And in that that Scott McLaughlin lookalike down on that bottom lane behind the 50 of Joe Francis, that's Aaron Tribble. As we mentioned, he's on the cut line. He is 16th. And if one of those guys behind him in points were to win, he's actually out of the playoffs. So this is an important night for Tribble.
Yep, there is Aaron Tribble in the Ford Mustang, paying tribute to the V8 Supercars team that basically ran away with the Aussie Championship. As we've got 3 wide for the lead right now, as here comes Carl Smalley to the outside being pushed by James Lowe.
3 wide for the lead, two lanes deep, and Smalley is one of those guys that can win his way in, goes from the outside to the inside. That 99 is already in the playoffs. Is James Lowe sitting in 9th place in the points, so he is securely in. He would love to help push one of his teammates to a win.
And Carl Smalley in a must-win situation going into tonight, so if he wants to be in the playoffs after this one, he does have to win, as Frank has already alluded to. Michael Anthony, though, being pushed by Cody Smith, though, trying to get back to the front, but Carl Smalley going to have the shortest way around as he come out of turn 4. Cody Smith going to the very high line there and blocking off James Lowe. I did get it right.
Yeah, but I've been doing the same exact thing all night. As he caught up in front of those 3 of the Balls Out Energy cars. Those guys have since split. And now onto the back straightaway, Mark Mann in the 04. You see him peeling out, bailing out. That will absolutely kill Smalley's run. And now Chris Worrell, the effective points leader right now, getting to the back of his teammate in the 46, trying to keep him up there.
Yeah, the amount of playoff points that Chris Worrell has picked up over these last few races has been absolutely unreal. He's won 2 races this season, as has Marcus Adams, but Worrell been the most consistent. He's been on the podium for the last few weeks now, is looking for another one, maybe even a third win after tonight. But Kyle Smalley, you can see right there, the way he's pushing his teammate Michael Anthony right now, he is hungry for a win right now.
Yeah, certainly. And again, he needs to win if he wants to fight for the championship. Worrell leading the point standings, 51 points ahead of second place. Not that that's going to matter after tonight, but still, that entire Balls Out Energy team can certainly be, I would have to assume, the rest of them are locked in. If they want their entire team in, all of their efforts are going to be focused on getting that 46 into victory lane tonight.
Yep, as they come out of turn 4 again, it's going to be 3 wide for the lead again. Scott Warren not quite got the nose out. James Lowe being pushed by the 31 of Marcus Adams, but it's going to go to Michael Anthony once again as they come down towards turn 1. Kyle Smalley, the pusher this time. Chris Worrell moving up a lane there, just in front of Greg McConey as they go through turns 1 and 2.
Yep, flying through, and again, just about 3 wide for the race lead again. Yep, there they are. They're spread out, but they are 3 wide as James Lowe has Marcus Adams and Worrell, 2 of his teammates behind him, and cuts down in front of another teammate of his in the 8. Going into 3. Balls out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, and I apologise, it wasn't Greg McConey that he went up in front. That was actually Zach Bowman, and Bowman trying to go up there and join his teammate Cody Smith and help him out a little bit. But like I said, it's a balls out domination here at the front. You've got James Lowe, you've got Marcus Adams, Michael Anthony, you got Kyle Smalley, Chris Worrell. They're all up there, and it's just a one-team domination at the front here right now, locking out the first 5 spots.
Yeah, this is a flex for you guys. This team is really flexing their muscle right now. Scott Warren there. Again, Warren needs to win. We're talking about Zach Bowerman and him being a little aggressive, trying to get to his teammate Cody Smith with the 7. Bowerman won earlier this year at Talladega, so he is locked in, 15th in points, but locked in because of the win.
Yeah, as the outside line starting to falter again. That's James Lowe now out in the clear. That's Michael Anthony right behind him, as we're still seeing a lot of changes for position here. I'm noticing another driver making his way forward. That's James Cato now to the outside of the 50 of James Francis.
Yeah, James Cato has certainly worked his way up, and there's Smalley jumping up to the outside. He leads that outside line now after Cody Smith jumped up to the outside lane, so they're going to have momentum working forward, trying to get past Anthony and Lowe.
Yeah, as we are still focused on how everything is going right now. One driver that's really made his way forward, though, and I will go back to him in just a second. I did see him up there. He's dropped back a little bit, though. Jason Kinzer made his way up to damn near the top 10, but has dropped back a few more spots. Kinzer just having a bit of a yo-yo situation right there, just in front of Nick Kessler.
Yeah, and part of the reason why you would do that is just to see how long, well, 1, to get to a teammate, and 2, to try to just see how long it's going to take for you to get up to the front for later on in the race. Kinzer is one of those guys that is not in contention for a playoff spot. Again, must-win situation for the 91 tonight.
Yep, as they come out of turn 4 again, another driver made his way up through the field. He's up into P15 now as Jason Papp. Now he's the man that's on the outside looking in, coming into this one, and he will dearly require a good finish, and there's that man, 2 cars in front of him that he needs to pass in order to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, only 3 points behind the number 86 of Aaron Tribble, pardon me for the background noise, as trying to make the playoffs. But again, he only makes the playoffs beating Tribble if a guy who is not in a must-win situation doesn't win this race.
Now, as we're looking at Tribble right now, he's looking to the back of the 33 of Gene Cato. Cato making his way forward as well. And he's right on the outside of Joe Francis. You see Zach Bowman side by side with the 68 of Elijah Ennis, who's made his way into the top 10 now. So all these drivers making their way forward. One moving backwards, though. That is the 90 of Nicholas Wing, who is now a lap down.
And Nicholas Wing is another one of those guys we mentioned at the top of the broadcast that can still point his way in. Only 9 points behind Aaron Tribble on that 16th place cut line. Not looking good for him right now.
Not at all, as we are looking at a new leader here, Cody Smith, coming out of turn 4 now. He is the leader of this race with Marcus Adams to his outside. So Smith, Warren and Cato kind of breaking this balls out domination right now as Cody Smith leads. Another lap here and Cody Smith loses shape coming through and touches that yellow line, and that's all it takes here. If you touch that yellow line, it's going to send your car in all sorts of fits.
Yeah, you really need to focus on saving your car rather than saving your position when you get on that yellow line here, and that clears Marcus Adams to go down to the inside. Scott Warren pushing him, comes down with him, and thanks to the checkup, that's moved Kyle Smalley to the outside with the 3 of Cato pushing.
Cody Smith dropping all the way down to P14 after that, and it's not going to upset him too much. He can get that back easily. It looks like Scott Warren, though, going to be in a bit of trouble as he's caught in that sucker hole there, Frank.
Yeah, Warren tried to go to the outside to block Smalley off. Unfortunately for him, he kind of faked the move and then committed to it, and that forced Smalley around him on the outside lane, and now he's just getting pushed back. He's got Joe Francis to pick him up now, but he looks like he might have a chance to fall into that inside lane after Zach Bowerman.
Oh, something could seriously and easily go wrong here, as they are not getting it quite figured out here, as they're 3 wide for 3rd place at the moment. 3 wide behind them as well. And we've seen in the past that either it can work out really well or it can end in tears as they come out of turn 4 now. As one is going to be in tears, and that is going to be Ennis in the wall.
Yep, Ennis hitting the wall, coming out of that corner. Well, they're still moving and jockeying for position. Also, the 6 of Chris Worrell had a bit of a moment there, coming out of turn 4 and onto the short chute. He's fallen back now behind Aaron Tribble and even behind the 7 of Cody Smith.
Yeah, and they're still 3 wide coming down the backstretch here. We're only on lap 17 of 90. Now, I don't know how the fuel fill is here tonight, but we've seen that
wide, 2 rows deep for the lead.
Yeah, as they come through 3 and 4. We don't know how the fuel fill is here tonight, but they usually like to underfill the tank, so it makes it more interesting with the pit stops. So let's see
75%.
Yep, see, exactly. Again, so we're going to be expecting pit stops around about lap 25, lap 30.
That would be a safe bet. So we're within about 6 or 7 laps of that pit window opening. I would have to agree with that time frame. Yes.
So out of turn 2 they come. We're on lap 18 of 90. And it's still side by side between Marcus Adams and James Lowe, as Scott Warren's still right there. Michael Anthony's still right there. Zach Bowman, the most forward he's been all night. He's up there in P6 with Kyle Smalley to his outside. James Cato is still there. Joe Francis, Ryan Worley, and Nick Kessler back in the top 10 now.
Yep, Ryan Worley again. I've mentioned it a lot tonight, but about the points. But Worley is one of those guys who is in the top 16, but he's still close to that cutoff line. He's showing how important this race is. He's up to the front, and also look at the 4 of Nick Kessler has gotten himself back up here, bringing the 33 of, I believe that's Gene Cato in the 33 with him. Yeah,
so Gene Cato, the highest we've seen him up the field for a long time. He usually is usually round near the back in the early part of a race, but he's up there this time around. He's to the inside of Elijah Innes at the moment. Innes still kind of shaken up from that little wall he had a few laps ago, and he's got the 1 of Jason Papp right behind him, who's now knocking on the door of the top 10.
Yeah, Jason Papp has actually gotten around the 86 of Tribble, so this would put him in on points right now as the 3 of James Cato moves to the inside line, leaving just the 17 and the 64 on the outside lane. Inside still seems to be the preferred line, but we've seen a lot of very good, very close 3-wide racing here in the opening 20 laps.
That we have, and it's still James Lowe leading this thing. We are now on lap 20. Here comes Michael Anthony, a big aggressive move to the outside there, leading the outside line. Marcus Adams going up to defend. Actually, Marcus Adams going up to pick him up, so Adams going to lead the outside line now.
Yep, Adams, again, he's a 2 races won this season, so he's all well and good. James Lowe, his teammate on the inside lane, still getting a little bit wobbly, but nothing too severe on that inside lane for those guys.
Yeah, and there goes Marcus Adams to the point now, leaving Michael Anthony leading the outside line with Scott Warren and Nick Kessler right behind him as they go down the backstretch once again. Lap 21 of 90. It is getting chippy already here at Daytona, and you can tell it's the last race of the regular season, because even for these guys, they're not usually this chippy early on.
Yeah, no, these guys have been racing pretty hard, and usually if they do get this chippy, a wreck usually happens at this early stage, and then they start to cool down and calm down. But these guys have been, it's been high intensity all race long, and they've been very, very clean with it.
Yeah, James Lowe still holding on. I'm noticing some pretty serious rear-end damage on the back of Carl Smalley's car. I'm not sure if that's a bump drafting deal, but it looks like it looks like he's backed into a telegraph pole.
Yeah, he's gotten shunt drafted a couple times, most notably from his teammate in the 6 of Chris Worrell. So he's had some hardy shoves come his way tonight.
Yeah, Carl Smalley in the Toyota, and majority of the Balls Out team in Toyotas. Obviously, Marcus Adams is in a Ford. I believe James Lowe is in a Toyota as well. No, he's in a Chevrolet.
Yes.
So Marcus Adams still leading. Michael Anthony to the outside as they come down the backstretch. And I did forget to mention that they are running the Xfinity cars tonight. For those very few of you that didn't know, I mean, the Toyota Supra kind of stands out like a sore thumb. It's a bit
Is
of
that a Supra?
Well, allegedly. So James Lowe going to the outside there, just leading the outside line again, as Nick Kessler, you said he made his way back up to the top 10 now, sitting in P6, as he's continuing his march to the front now.
Yeah, he's slowly but surely worked his way up to that outside lane. And again, he was going up there with Gene Cato. Some of the guys that we saw fall back, talk about Ryan Worley a minute ago, talk about Cody Smith, they've kind of fallen to the back and stayed at the back. Other guys that don't necessarily need to race their way into the championship tonight, Brody Smith, we saw him fall back on the first lap. He has not moved from the back end of this field.
And Cody Smith doesn't need to race his way in. He's already got a race win this season, winning just 2 weeks ago. And can kind of just sit back and relax here, but can't relax for too long because, you know, playoff points mean everything, especially when it's only next week.
Yeah, they absolutely do mean everything, and that's seeding for the playoffs. It doesn't go by the points you have now. It goes by seeding and how many playoff points you've accrued over the course of the season, and that's every point counts, and especially when you go into the playoffs, that means just that much more.
Yeah, as we're still focused on this front group here, as we're coming very quickly to 1/3 distances. Here comes James Cato. Actually, Cato, we thought coming to pit road, actually going to the apron to back out of it.
Yep, a couple of guys. This is kind of the time you mentioned where we kind of opened that pit road. We've opened that pit window as, boy, a big swing from the inside to the outside for Kessler. Looks like he's trying to fall back again. Is that number 4 of Kessler?
And we've seen a lot of position changes here as well, with the fact that Kessler's dropped back, as there goes the 8 of Michael Anthony back to the point again on that outside line of with Marcus Adams to his inside and Jason Papp up to the top 6 now.
Yeah, Papp is one of those guys. He'll fight up at the front for a decent portion of these races, he'll find his way up to the front, but usually gets caught up in an accident. Cannot afford that tonight.
Yeah, he's been involved in a lot of early accidents in the past few races, and that's kind of what cost him in the playoff. Cost him a spot in the playoffs at this point. If it wasn't for those last few wrecks in the last few races, going out early on, he would have been right up there at this point.
Yeah, he has done a very good job this season of just hanging around, and now it's unfortunate with how many accidents he's been caught up in. He has to hang around again.
Yeah, and let's see how much longer he can hang around. He's right behind Scott Warren right now, the Canadian, just still holding on to that outside line, but doesn't have much help. He only has Jason Papp up there with him. Now, I believe that is Chris Worrell starting to make his way forward as well, but he's a bit too far back as it stands right now, and he's got Zayshan Dura right behind him as Dura is starting to make his way forward too.
Yeah, Duero was the slowest of the qualifiers. That put him in the mid-pack. Also, guys, we were talking about, we highlighted during qualifying, we highlighted Connor Trafari. He started towards the middle of the field, has fallen to the back, and he's another one of those guys that hasn't moved away from the back of this field. Greg McConey back here as well. The 501 of Brandon Wilson. These are guys that have all just been hanging around at the back all race long.
And there is Greg McConey. You can see one of the few drivers in the field that actually has a picture with their in their driver description. So good to see that actually works. So that was the proof I needed. I was going through hosted sessions earlier and spectator sessions earlier. I could not find one single driver with a picture like included, like registered on SDK, and it was getting frustrating because all I wanted to do was see if it worked or not, and now I've seen it's taken me this long.
Certainly does.
It does now because Greg McConey's got it. So
Greg, expect to be highlighted a lot the rest of this season while we play with our new toys.
Oh, yeah.
You said that like so, yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I mean,
wouldn't expect you to.
I wouldn't expect me to either. As they come through 3 and 4, actually 1 and 2. See, I was going to get something wrong tonight. Lap 30, we are coming to 1/3 distance here now, Frank. We've got to be expecting pit stops any time now.
Yeah, this is one of the tracks where you would want to split this up kind of evenly. Try to find that group that's going to go with you. If you come in this time by, which here they come.
I love it.
Tire
when I'm
balls
right.
out team on the inside lane.
Yeah. I love it when I'm right. I really do.
Well, you know.
As
blind squirrel finds a nut every now and again.
Yeah, that every week. Every week. As
Stop setting me up for it then.
Yeah, as Michael Anthony into his box, there is Kyle Smalley, Cody Smith, and Joe Francis. Very awkward angles into their boxes. Not sure if that's going to hurt them or not. Probably won't, but you know. Well,
it's nice when you can drive through other cars.
Well, yeah. As oh, look at that! Big drag race out of pit road. It's going to be Chris Worrell that wins that one.
Yep, and now here comes the rest of the group, literally the entire rest of the group, except for one guy. It is the 86 of Aaron Tribble, decides to stay out an extra lap, get that bonus point. He knows where he is in standings, and gets out in front to lead a lap.
Yeah, we're taking a longer view of the drivers down in pit road now. Let's see who is going to be the first one out of pit road out of the second group, as we're waiting for the first group to make their way around the track, and they will come around very soon, as we're seeing one in the distance there. It looks like it might have been Jason Papp that might have been the first one to leave his pit stall. But it's Nick Kessler. That is the first one out of pit road. As where is the rest of the group? There they are, just coming for the trial. But now we're going to stay on this camera for now. And now we're going to go to Chris Worrell on the main camera. And look at him just
out.
Wow.
Balls out, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's Seabrands. Oh, the 91 sliding as well. Kinzer is around. Oh, and a big hit going through turn 2. Elijah Innes, Nicholas Wing, Kinzer. Caution is out.
That it is, and we're going to take a look and see what happened here. As I am looking for... There we go.
It started with Seabrands. Seabrands hit the grass on the apron. And then I believe it was the 91 of Kinzer that did the same, and Kinzer got a broadside shot from Elijah Innes in the 68.
And it was a netcode hit, I think, because Kinzer disappeared, and then Innes and Wing just didn't see him, I don't think, and that's what caused that.
It might have been netcode. It might have been a little bit of a flash on your end, but that was... Yeah, no, I'm looking at it on YouTube right now, the replay that you just saw, and it's... Yeah, no, he was certainly there when he got hit.
Yeah, Kinzer actually lost it by himself. Seabrands...
Yeah, he did.
So Kinzer the cause of that one, and unfortunately that is going to end the night of Elijah Innes and Nicholas Wing as we go back live. And Aaron Tribble, luckiest man out on track right now, decided to stay out and now finds himself leading this piece with Nick Kessler in second place.
Yeah, the only thing is now the 86 of Tribble does have to pit here for fuel. I would expect him to come in at some point. No? Wow, okay.
Brody Smith's going to come down though.
Yep. And then the rest of the back of the field, they're going to bow out. And some of these guys go through the grass to fake. The 6 of Worrell faked. The 8 faked. The 99 as well.
I think I know why Brody Smith has put a Taco Bell in his car.
Well, don't hold out on useful information.
I think he's put Taco Bell in his car because 1, it gives you the runs, and 2, if it gives you the runs, it makes you run faster.
There it is.
For the
halfway expect that to come there, yes.
I mean, there was a party joke in there somewhere.
That's, yeah, one place or another there was.
Watch your potty mouth. So we're past 1/3 distance here at Daytona. Okay, Kessler. Interesting. Just want to give a shout out to the sponsors of this league. That's iRacing, iFlag, Butt Kicker, AC Paint, Midwest Motor Customs, and of course Circle B Diecasts. Don't think this league would be anything without you guys, so definitely a big shout out to all those guys. Remember, we're saying one more prayer for Cam as well here in the at ESPN for the iRacing East Series. Obviously, Brandon Wilson bringing that initiative on board, so big shout out to him as Brandon Wilson running the Stars and Stripes in his car tonight. Yeah,
Wilson with a very, very nice looking scheme on that 501. Again, in the playoffs, so he's not really got to be forcing too many issues here tonight, as now the rest of the field, yeah, they're coming back in.
Interesting. So pit start, the start of the race will be delayed. Actually, lights have just gone off the pace card, so these guys need to get moving and quick.
Yeah, and it should be okay because these are going to be just fuel stops for these guys, and they just came in to top off, so these guys are just trying to make sure, and to go 30 laps from here, that would definitely put them in the window of being fine for the rest of the way.
Aaron Tribble picking the outside line for the restart. Wise move, or is he just waiting? Is he just looking to get out of the way as soon as possible?
I'm not sure what he's doing, if I'm perfectly honest. Hasn't come into pit yet. So he's been on that fuel. He's been on that. He's done 35 laps on that tank of fuel. Tires don't really mean much here. He's just. I don't know what he's doing.
According to my time in the scoring, if this was an official race, Aaron Tribble would be gaining 106 iRating right now.
Good lad.
But because this is a league race, he won't. So, sorry, Aaron. Sorry to get your hopes up there, Aaron.
And that's also interesting too, and I think that might be part of the reason why a lot of those guys came in. If you come in while the pits are closed, like on this restart here, you line up on the inside. You don't stagger inside outside. You just line up on the inside. So Tribble has nothing but air behind him.
Yeah, and that might be the objective there for the 86 as we go back racing once again. Green flag in the air here at Daytona as they come down towards turn 1. And Aaron Tribble actually is not going to fall backwards. He's actually going to try and fight this thing out and try and stay at the front here.
And it certainly made it hard by not having anyone behind him, as now there goes the 4 of Kessler up in front of him, and that will unleash Scott Warren in the 17. He will take the lead, and look who's sitting behind him now. It's the 48 of Connor Trafari.
Yeah, Trafari winner in the first round here in the trucks, and looking to, it's been pretty chilled out for the rest of it. This is probably the highest we've seen him all season, and right behind him is the 9 of Zach Bowman, who also is locked into the playoffs.
Yeah, Bowman now moving to that outside lane, so a nice little move there from Bowman. That allows the 50 of Joe Francis on the inside, and that's nice with these pit cycles and these different strategies on pit road. It cycles up the front completely. So Sean Guerra now up here, Worley, Tribble now moves to the inside. I don't know how much fuel Tribble has left.
Probably not a lot as they come out of turn 2, and let's see how they fare when they come down the backstretch. Scott Warren still leading the thing. You see Michael Anthony getting a bit impatient behind Nick Kessler. He's going to try and make a third lane here. I'm guessing that might be to try and get air to his engine because he was desperate to get up there. I wonder how close he was to blowing his engine there.
It waits a while. You're not going to immediately blow your engine. It'll take a little while. You'll start to certainly lose power that you won't be able to recover from if you overheat that engine and keep it hot for too long. But you'd still be about a good, it's about 7 or 8 laps, depending upon how relentless you are with the heat.
Yeah, as they come down the backstretch once again, the Daytona Super Stretch, as it's always known. We have no indicator of who's going to win this one. This is the same thing we have week in and week out here. As Kessler taking a bit of a highlight on the back of Bowman there, trying to get air to his engine now as they come down through the tri-oval. And this is the way things are every week, Frank. For those that are new to this, just explain what this series is all about.
They run 2 different nights. They run on Monday nights, which is follows the regular NASCAR schedule, and then you have these Friday night races where it's the Superspeedway series, Daytona and Talladega. These guys race with each other twice a week. These races are always, always, always like this. A lot of close racing, entertaining racing, moving, shaking left and right all race long, and they keep it incredibly clean. They've raced like this the entire season. I think the most amount of cautions they've had in one race, maybe 4, if that might be pushing it.
That'll be definitely pushing it. And with that, we are going to be happy to announce that from 2021, ESPN will become the exclusive broadcast partners of the iRacing E-Series. And I don't know about you, Frank, but I, for one, am excited to be picking up the Cup Series on Mondays as well.
Yeah, and I believe we're going to be doing the season finale on this upcoming Monday, for them as well. I've done one of their Monday night races when I first got here to ESPN. They did their race at Kentucky. I was in the broadcast booth for it. It was an absolutely fantastic race, a big pack like you've seen tonight, making it an incredible race out of Kentucky, which is not easy to do. So, very impressed by these guys. I'm very excited. I believe that starts. The last race is on Monday, but I think the new season starts at January, if I remember right.
February. They're following the Cup schedule, so it's definitely going to be February.
Okay.
and they will be starting off with their own version of the Daytona 500, so that's going to be interesting to see as we look back at the front. And it's business as usual as James Lowe takes over the lead here, Frank.
Yep, and they're 3 wide still, 2 or 3 rows deep. This is close racing. This is the racing you want to see, especially out of Daytona and Talladega.
Yeah, and Joe Francis caught right in the middle there. He's got nowhere to go. It looks like Zach Bowman's had enough. He's going to fall to the back now.
Yep, Zach, while Brody Smith may have Liv Moss on his back bumper, Bowerman has said no Moss and jumps out of line and falls to the back.
Yeah, and he's just rejoined right alongside Greg McConey there. And McConey's going to overtake him. Brody Smith will be right behind him as they come out of turn 2.
Connor Trafari dips out as well now.
Yep, Trafari dipping out. The very dirty Ford Mustang, I will say. You might need to take that to the car wash afterwards, sir.
Might melt the wrap on it.
Well,
that's what you get when you don't paint these things anymore.
Depends on how much clear bra has got in it. Anyway,
True.
as they go back to the front here, yeah, I know what clear bra is.
I didn't think you didn't.
I watch a YouTube channel called Goon Squad, and they do stuff like that. So like repair cars and stuff. So, anyway,
speaking of YouTube, Harrison Hutch, yo back.
Yo, my G. No.
Oh God. Stick to calling the race, Bo.
Okay. Anyway, James Lowe still leading this. Then Cody Smith back up to second place after the scare he had earlier. Good to see him back up there with Chris Morrell right next to him. Michael Anthony right up there again. James Cato, Scott Warren. Joe Francis still battling away right in between the Worrell and Cato machines.
Yeah, these guys are really now starting to move and shake. Also, I haven't really been paying too much attention, but Marcus Adams now has gotten back up into this group. He's flying in that number 31 as Worrell is left in the middle. No, he's not. 3 of his teammates are going to pick him right up.
And that was always going to happen as they come through turns 3 and 4. Cato and Francis going to be left on their own. As we come down... Sorry, carry on.
No, that was a quick move to the middle from the 7 in somewhat of an awkward spot that pushed Worrell up to the outside lane. I must say, with James Lowe essentially pointed in, the 6 having won a race, the 31 having won 2, and the 8 sitting in 3rd place pointing his way in, I'm surprised there hasn't been a more concerted effort to get that 46 up in the front and keep him there.
Yeah, as Kyle Small is still struggling on the back end of that pack there. I wonder if that damage on the back of his car is maybe affecting him slightly as they come out of turn 4.
It might just a little bit, especially when he goes to get a bump draft. But if he's sitting at the back of a line the way he is right now, or was before Cato came down behind him, it really would not affect as far as speed goes. That would have minimal effect on that car.
Absolutely, as they come out of turn 2, we are literally at half distance now. And still another half of this race to go, and it's been pretty exciting so far. We've had 1 caution so far, and that was pretty much just a mistake coming off pit road there, Frank.
Yeah, nothing as far as on-track action. There really has not been any major moments of drama. We've seen a lot of close racing. We've seen a lot of moving and shaking, but nothing really remotely close to a dangerous situation for a wreck.
And another question here. How long can this man last for? Aaron Tribble, on the oldest tyres, has not been in pit road yet and is still sitting just outside the top 10.
With how long he's been, I think he had to have come in and we hadn't seen it. Because he has lasted, this is half the race. Cup cars usually go on a full tank. They usually go between 35 and 40 laps. He's been out here for 47 laps now. He had to have come in, and we just missed it.
I'm just looking to see when he made his pit stop. And it's not going to tell me because...
there's absolutely no way, even on 100, even on a full tank, there's no way he would have made it this long. Go side by side for this race lead here up at the front. That's the 6 of Worrell on the inside, the 8 of Anthony on the outside. Smalley in the 46 behind Anthony. And there's that 7 of Cody Smith still hanging around up here at the front of this field.
Now, I'm trying to look and see if Aaron Tribble is...
since I can actually go back and look here, I'll
he pit on lap 31, which is... he hasn't pit yet. I'm looking at the pit strategy. He's not been in pit road yet.
There's... cannot be.
There's 48 laps on his current stint.
On the tires, that I would believe.
No, he's not been in pit road at all yet. At all.
I find that incredibly hard to believe.
Oh, you can bring up your own time in the scoring and see if you want.
That's what I'm doing right now.
But anyway, that argument over. We're going to go back to the race as Chris Worrell now back to the front. Cody Smith to his outside. Marcus Adams, to the second row. Michael Anthony still, and it's still a balls-out domination here at the front. It's pretty interesting to see these guys just absolutely locking out most of the positions here.
It has been incredible to see what those guys have been able to do up at the front. Not just getting to the front, but staying there. We saw earlier in the race they were in the top 5. They held all 5 of the top 5 positions. They have been just absolutely incredible together.
Yeah, as they come down to start lap 51, we only have 40 laps to go in this one now. And if things stay as they are, we will see another set of green flag pit stops here. They have not had their money stopped just yet. And one driver I'm surprised has not been in the mix here tonight and really trying to push the issue here is Brody Smith. He's usually one of the drivers really battling out at the front, and he's sitting right at the back here, as well as Mark Mann, who's usually at the front as well.
Yeah, we saw Mark Mann up towards the front, and then going back to close the book on Aaron Tribble, he did pit while we were focusing on the caution happening and that wreck happening. Tribble was in the pits getting serviced, and because the field had to slow down for the caution, he stayed out in front. Lap 32 he was in.
Okay. So Michael Anthony back to the point here as Marcus Adams still trying to hold on to that inside line. Still no indicator of who's going to be the fastest guy out of this one as Marcus Adams flirting with the apron there.
Yeah, I think Adams may have gotten a bad push from his teammate in the 6. Sent him a little bit squirrely, and you see these guys just... It's been incredible to see what they can do. It's the top 4, the first 3 cars on the inside lane, 2 of the first 3 on the outside.
Yeah, and only 6 drivers on that outside line. Everybody else is single file right now. And you know, the more I use this new timing tower, I actually like it.
Yeah,
really cool.
I'm looking at it on the stream. It looks nice. It does. I'm not gonna lie. It does. It does look very nice. Sitting here, and again, we're oohing and eyeing over this timing tower. This was just released today by SDK, so this is playing with the new toys.
Yeah, and that's what I said to Pascal Higelin earlier. Like, just a kid playing with new toys and forgetting to read the instructions. Yeah. That's what you do. If you just want to play with it straight away, you're not going to look at the instructions.
So he's come with instructions.
So you just exactly made my point there. But anyway, still nothing going on at the front here. Just everybody's still in lockstep position right now. We're just pretty much waiting until the next set of pit stops to see who is going to bite first and how the positions work their way out from there. But we are down to 22 drivers left in this race. For those that are just joining us, Elijah Innes, Jason Kinzer and Nicholas Wing involved in a big incident there on the exit of pit road, Frank. Kinzer spinning coming off pit road, and Wing and Innes just pretty much nowhere to go.
Yeah, no, that was a very big hit for those guys, and put two of them out. Again, Wing, as we've been talking about all race long, Wing was up on the broadcast. My goodness, he was on the bubble as to whether or not he could make it in on points, and with that DNF, he certainly is not going to make it now.
Yeah, and Jason Kinzer has been ever present all season. Having an early retirement for him has really hurt him as well. As look at Carl Smalley getting a push on the outside by, I believe that is Joe Francis giving them that push now.
Joe Francis now up on the outside line alone as Smalley falls in front of his teammate Michael Anthony in that number 8, and it's not just the domination, it's the sustained domination that this team has had here tonight. It's absolutely remarkable.
And Joe Francis almost immediately dropped to the latter end of the top 10 there. That's how quickly you can lose it once you lose the draft to somebody. And just outside that top 10 is still Aaron Trouble, and he's still ahead of Jason Papp here. This is crucial because Papp needs to get up there and try and get past that number 86 right now.
Yeah, and it's Papp does have to make a little bit of a move. He's only 3 points behind going in, but of course with Tribble being ahead of him, that just means he's falling back. So that one does have to start making a concerted effort to move up towards the front.
And he's stuck behind Greg McConey at the moment as they come out and complete another lap here. We are less than 35 laps to go now. And this next pit stop is going to be the one that really tells the tale of who's going to finish where.
Yeah, this is the crucial stop. This is going to be the money stop coming up here. I'd say in about 10 laps or so, maybe a little bit more than 10 laps. Everyone should be able to make it on fuel after this next stop. And another thing we've seen this group get spread apart and broken apart after during a green flag pit cycle. So this is really going to be a crucial stop.
And one driver that's not here tonight is in the chat right now. Gavin Hibbs says that the overlay looks amazing. So thank you, Gavin. Shame you're not out on track though, and you're the one of the people that's locked into the playoffs, so surprised you're not here tonight.
Can afford to miss a night. May as well, right?
I may as well.
A little bit of wiggling on that inside line there. Worrell, his teammate, allows him back in. But now this is what I've expected here. Now James Cato in the lead of the race, but in the lead of the balls out cars, it is that 46 of Kyle Smalley, and this is really more of what I expected out of this team tonight.
Yeah, and Cody Smith leading that outside line as well. And as much as it pains me to say, if you're driving a white car out there tonight, you're going to have to really clean that afterwards, because look at the state of Cody Smith's car.
It's amazing how much rubber gets kicked up off of these cars during a race. It really is.
Yeah, that's all marbles. It's not... well, it's probably engine dirt as well from the back of somebody else's car, but that's what they mean by dirty air, because well, it's not just aero; it's just actually dirt coming off the engine as well.
It is, and the marbles coming up and pounding the car, just not smooth, clean air off the front of that, off the back of that car in front of you. Is a bunch of stuff hampering that run. As Cato. We saw Cato win the Dash for Cash race. He's moving his way up now to the front here. He wants to lead this one. Nice change of aggression out of James Cato in the 3.
An update from Gavin Hibbs. He says he doesn't actually have enough starts to make it to the playoffs, so he's not eligible, so it doesn't matter to him. So,
oh, that's unfortunate.
It is, but he got that race win, so he's probably going to be happy regardless. As Joe Francis now getting a push on that high side by James Lowe and Marcus Adams, as James Lowe almost giving Francis a very bad push there coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, Francis right up against that wall in the middle of 3 and 4. Still Kyle Smalley sitting on that inside lane with Cody Smith. Cato still being pushed by Scott Warren, and Warren's another one of those guys. We've seen him up front every single week. He usually gets caught up in something at the end of these races, but in the last couple of weeks, he's just been caught up in stuff right out of the get-go. Hasn't had a chance to have a good race, has that 17. He's got that chance now with 30 to go.
Yeah, and Scott Warren, good to see him making it this far. At least there's Michael Anthony floating with the apron there.
Yeah, and Nick Kessler back up here as well. We've seen him fall to the back several times over the course of this race. And just Zashawn Dwera in the 10 on that inside lane in front of Aaron Tribble. He's found his way back up towards the front of this group again.
As Joe Francis falling all the way back to P10 now. As mentioned, Jason Papp trying to make his way forward. He's actually lost a bunch of spots. He's now back in P20 right now, still behind Greg McConey. And I mentioned Brody Smith not making any inroads to the front. Now look where he is. He's down. He's up to P12 now.
Yeah, Brody Smith has said it's race time in that number 22. So we know what kind of racer he is. He will certainly be up at the front. He can put his car where he wants to put his car when he wants to put his car. Is that good here?
Yeah. As they come through the tri-oval. And definitely some close racing, as you would expect. Here is James Cato to the bottom of the track once again, right in front of Cody Smith, and almost banging doors Scott Warren and Cody Smith as they come down the super stretch on lap 63 of 90. We are getting closer and closer to those pit stops now, Frank.
Yeah, we certainly are. We're within 5 laps, I think, of that pit cycle starting. Everyone is good to go from here. Right now, it's going to be about making sure you're clear on the green-white checkered scenario. But also, we mentioned about guys that are making their way towards the front. There's the 33 of Gene Cato on the outside lanes. We had a couple of cars in the back come into pit.
Yeah, that's Mark Mann and Rick Seabrands. And they've got pictures on the driver information. I'm so happy.
Yay.
I'm so happy. As we go back to the front here, James Cato still leading this thing as they come out of turn 2. Mark Mann and Rick Seabrands in pit road. I've just noticed Rick Seabrands has got a crash test dummy as his picture.
There you go.
Oh, brilliant. As they come through 3 and 4, and there goes Scott Warren!
Oh, there goes Warren!
And it's going to cause a stack up here, and they all save it. Great save by everybody. Warren's still trying to save it.
I think Warren's coming into pit now. I have no idea how Scott Warren was able to save that, and with how slowed up these guys got, they all just decide to bring it into pit road. But what a save from Scott Warren, literally in the front of the field.
That's left Joe Francis in the lead, but here we go, wholesale pit stops. This is the money stop with about 26 laps to go, and it's going to be most of the front part of the field in pit road. Who's going to win the race off pit road? I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure Scott Warren's going to be staying in tiny bit longer to get a new fire suit right now.
I think so, but two guys that really benefited from this. Look at how far Joe Francis and Gene Cato have been able to pull away from that group. They're going to be able to come in as a pair and get out really without much of an issue, minus speeding. As now here comes the rest of the field. A couple of guys deciding to stay out. Brandon Wilson gets an extra point. Jason Papp stays out. Greg McConey staying out as well in the 12.
Yeah, as they come through 1 and 2, I'm still a little bit flustered from that little incident just there. So that just caught me off guard, that one. As we're looking
17 meets the crash test dummy is the picture there.
yeah.
Played the role.
We're looking at Brandon Wilson and Greg McConey and Jason Powell just making their way through 3 and 4. They expect them guys to come down pit road this time around as they come out of 4, and as expected, down to pit road they come, and it's going to be Joe Francis that's leading them out of pit road, but watch for everybody else to come flying around him, and led by Kyle Smalley, who, remember, is in a must-win situation here, Frank.
Yes, he is, and these guys are going to have plenty of speed, plenty of momentum to try to get up and around these guys coming out of pit road. There goes Aaron Tribble, and with that big gap, it's able to keep Joe Francis up towards the front, but not for long, as here comes the rest of the pack.
Now remember, Greg McConey and McConey, Wilson and Pap still in pit road. They're just coming out now, and they are still the leaders for now, but for how long? As here comes Kyle Smalley through the trial now down towards turn 1. Yeah, these guys are nowhere near up to speed yet. They're going to get absolutely swallowed up right now.
Yeah, this is... Yeah, they're going to be falling to the back of this field here. As, boy, you see Brody and Cody Smith both right on the wall on that outside lane trying to make a move on the 99. They both get past him, but now the 99 has Joe Francis, who's gotten up to speed, and Scott Warren, who's composed himself again, pushing back up on that inside lane.
Brody and Cody Smith, they may be brothers, but don't get me wrong, don't get it twisted. They will spin each other for a win if it's necessary. So
yeah, they will, and Brody doesn't have a win this year. Cody has one, Brody doesn't, as we're 3 wide, about 3 rows deep for the race lead.
23 to go as they come towards turn 1, and Brody Smith finally makes it to the point here as he's leading them out of turn 2. Still not quite to the bottom. Finally makes it down there as they come out of the corner. And it's now Chris Worrell leading that middle line with Michael Anthony leading the high line.
Yeah, and Brody Smith, we were talking about it before, is we're still 3 wide, 2 rows deep for the race lead. Worrell poking his nose out in the middle. There's the 22 on the inside, trying to hold that inside lane. But Brody Smith, we were talking about him sitting in the back all race long, has finally worked his way up. He's turned it on now.
Yeah, we've got some other names up there as well. I've just seen Connor Trafari has made his way up there as well. He's in just behind Aaron Tribble right there, just ahead of Zacian Dwyer. Rick Seabrand's in the crash test dummy, number 92. I'm just going to say that from now on, because he's got crash test dummy on his car. Still, he's up there in P16. The one man that's probably a bit too... Actually, he's right in the middle of it. Scott Warren is still up there in P12 with a completely soiled race suit coming through the trioval right now. And it's Chris Worrell that's going to lead them down to the line here, Frank.
Yep, Worrell's done a fantastic job. Still 3 wide, 4 rows deep now. Also up here now, right fair smack in the middle of this, is the number 9 of Zach Bowerman. He's come up here. I'm sure with how quickly he bailed out the last time they were in this run, he's not happy being square in the middle of this.
Yeah, as there's still 3 wide coming down here. This is amazing racing we're seeing right now from these guys. It's almost like formation flying, and that's what I like about NASCAR. It's just like, if you can keep it up there, it just looks so satisfying.
Yeah, it is. It's got a nice little run going here, and it's when you see people doing it right, this is the best racing you can get right here.
Only 3 retirements here tonight. Only 1 caution we've seen all night, and with 20 laps to go, I don't think we're going to see... I still think we're going to see at least 1 more caution out of this one tonight.
I would have to assume that's about the safest bet you could possibly get, is at least 1 more time in the last 20 laps, somebody's going to make a mistake.
Yep, as they come down the backstretch here, Nick Kessler up to P3 now. Good to see him still up there, just struggling to keep that car straight right now as they come through turns 3 and 4 and finally gets it leveled out. Looks like Cody Smith has got a bit of front end damage there. I wonder if that's going to be bump drafting damage. Surely.
Yeah, it is. And James Cato in the 3 has a bunch of back end damage. I would have to assume from the issue with Scott Warren, because his back end is well bent in.
Yeah. And remember, these guys do not have fast repairs, so if you wreck it, you're done. And that was the case for Ines Kinzer and Wing here tonight. So they wrecked their cars, they are out of it. But for these guys, they've only got little bit of cosmetic damage, and they're able to come out of this one alive so far. But with only 19 laps to go, we're about to tick over to 18 laps to go. The gloves well and truly are about to come off here now.
Yeah, these guys are as if they haven't been fighting and chippy all race long. We're getting down to the last 18 laps of the regular season here. There's a couple of guys in this front pack that are fighting for a playoff spot, certainly want to get it.
Yeah, down the back stretch here. And they're all bunched together, these guys. You're going back, I think, on the back of that pack, I think it's Mark Mann. And it is. And then you're going back another 10 seconds back to Jason Papp, who's all on his own with Brandon Wilson right there. They got hit the hardest through that pit stop.
Yeah, Papp needs a caution without a doubt here. It's pretty much all over for him right now unless he gets a caution flag. And even then, it's still not a guarantee because of how close these guys are racing.
Yeah, they are leaving absolutely nothing on the table. And with this being the last race in the regular season, you kind of expect them not to. A couple of drivers I'd love to see up there and challenging for a victory. I'm not trying to be biased, but it would be nice to see them up there. Obviously, Joe Francis has been close, but not got a race win. Scott Warren is one of them. Brodie Smith is another. He's up there right now. Kyle Smalley had a lot of bad luck this season. He would love a race win. Greg McConey, he's another one I would absolutely love to see him win a race, but obviously being too far back right now, might not have a chance. But with the way these finishes go, the way they have all season, he might still have a chance.
Yeah, and at Daytona and Talladega, there's always time to make up those positions. Right now, he's sitting in the 19th position, still not out of it.
Yeah, as we see Greg McConey's picture up on the screen again. Sorry, Greg.
Welcome, Greg.
As we're looking back at the front pack here, Zach Bowman right in front of Colin Trafari coming through the corners right there, and Scott Warren is slowly but surely building his way back to the front there. Probably still calming down after that near wreck he had just as the pit stops were about to happen. And I tell you, Scott Warren is a very lucky boy to have got out of that one.
Yes, certainly was. And again, that right there alone speaks to the skill level and the talent in this race here tonight. Just a lesser group of racers would have wrecked the entire field there.
Yeah, we got one driver with connection problems. It looks like I saw a puff of smoke come out the back of one driver. I don't quite see who that was. It looked like Marcus Adams on an island to himself up on that high side. I'm not really sure if he's trying to make a third lane or if he's just trying to get air to the engine, but still losing. Oh, we got a big wreck here, and here comes the big one. And I said there was one more caution in this, and there it is.
Huge wreck. I saw somebody just...
Everybody's in that.
Sling to the outside. I couldn't tell who it was that just went straight right.
Gotta guess it was Gene Cato. If I had to hazard a guess, it might have been Gene Cato.
Let me try to see here, and it was... I think Michael Anthony... Yeah, Michael Anthony and Chris Worrell had a tiny little tap, and that just sent everything going crazy. Wow, Trafari low, Warren gets through it. So Sean Duero, well, the 4 of Kessler just missed it.
Zach Bowman, Kyle Smalley, his playoff aspirations are pretty much over after that one. Marcus Adams, Gene Cato, Greg McConey getting away with that one. That was a pretty lucky one for him.
Just looking back at it now, that view you showed on the broadcast there of Kessler just getting through, he almost got slid into by the 7. That was incredibly close.
Whew. Cody Smith getting a big piece of that one as well.
Yeah, he did.
So a very expensive parking lot right there, as a lot of cars are on pit road repairing damage. And it's Brody Smith that is leading this thing after... Oh.
Aaron Tribble just somehow made it through that.
Yeah. I don't know how.
And that's the benefit for guys like Jason Papp being 10 seconds behind.
Yeah.
You're able to miss that.
Yeah, Michael Anthony's already put it on the hauler, by the way. He's out.
Yeah, he took a couple of hard hits. The 7, I'm sure, is not going to be too far away.
Chris Worrell just coming out of pit road now after repairing some damage. Zach Bowman is out. James Cato is out. No, he's not.
No, James Cato did take some damage. He's still in pit road right now. You know, both the Catos, James and Gene.
Yeah, we're all back out on track. Zach Bowman is back out on track as well. Kyle Smalley still in pit road. Marcus Adams still in pit road with some big damage. James Cato, big damage on him.
Talking about the bubble drivers, though. Tribble, Worley, and Pap all make it through that.
Well, Pat was too far back. Of course he was going to make it through.
Well, true, but Worley right in the middle of it, Tribble right in the middle of it, and they both come out with no damage.
As the lights are off on the pace truck already, we are ready to go racing once again, and the field has been cut by a considerable number here, Frank. It's we're going to see a very interesting end into this race, at least anyway.
Yeah, and there are a couple of guys up here again with race wins. Some of them needing to point some of them trying to point their way in, others in must-win situations. So, and these are a lot of guys here we're not used to seeing up towards the front battling for wins. We'll see Zishan Duera poke his head up, but not really stay in a winning spot. We'll see the 50 of Joe Francis every now and again, but not too often. Kessler, he'll race up at the front, but is usually caught up in a mess. Rick Seabrands as well, another guy. So there's a lot of guys who are going to be fighting for wins right now.
And that's my pick for the race here. Greg McConey is up there. He's in the top 10 now. So watch for him as well. As Frank, I got us going last time, so I believe it's your turn this time.
I think it is, as Brody Smith chooses the outside lane. Connor Trafari on the inside. As the pace truck will duck off. Cars at the back of the field still trying to catch up. Green flag is back out, and we are racing with 11 laps to go here at Daytona.
Yeah, and it's all to play for the people that are not in the playoff spots, and it's already Jason Papp that's putting Tribble under pressure here as they come out of the trial in towards turn 1. And you see Kyle Smalley and James Cato with those damaged cars on the high side just staying out of the way. They know they don't have the speed to keep up with these guys now.
Well, Smalley, those guys were catching up right at the start. And the question's going to be, at least for Smalley, can he at least stay in line and hold a draft? He's most likely not going to be able to lead a line, but if he can hold the draft, he's still in it with somewhat of a shout.
Yep, as they come out of turn 4, we're going to be 10 laps to go at the line. And, I just seen did I see an engine go there? No, I didn't.
No.
Jason Papp and Aaron Tribble are right together there, Frank.
Yeah, they are. There's Pap in the 1, Tribble in the 86. Pap, the 5th car on the outside line. Tribble, the 5th car on the inside line. And look, there's Greg McConey is up there as well. These guys really starting to race. 10 laps to go.
And here we go. Gloves are officially off. We've had the big one happen already. And now the survivors of that will make their way to the end of this race. And let's see who is going to come out on top in this one. At the moment, it's Brodie Smith that is leading the line with Connor Trafari in second. You see Joe Francis and Nick Kessler making it 3 wide with Scott Warren, who still somehow survived the big one. And Warren is right up there and looking for a race win as well.
Yeah, but Warren's not. It doesn't look as though Warren's as aggressive as he once was. He's got a little bit of front end damage, not too much, but just a little bit. Is not able to jump out of line to try to block off Joe Francis as Seabrand's pushing him through, but that 17 still very much a threat to win this race.
Yes, he is. He's got Duera right behind him. Seabrands and Francis on the outside. Trafari doing a great job of holding on to second place here as they come through 3 and 4. And Tribble has managed to get ahead of Pap here. This is important for the 86 area to come for the trial.
There was a big wiggle coming out of 4 from the 10 of Duera on the inside line. Joe Francis still has Seabrands pushing him on the outside. The 12 is still there as well. McConey, Pap, and Tribble still not able to get away from each other. And Tribble has bonus points for leading a lap, so it's crucial now for Pap to try to move up and away from this from the 86.
Only 1 bonus point, but it all makes the difference here as we're getting closer and closer to the end of this one. Now Pap to the outside of the 86 coming through 3 and 4. We will be 7 to go at the line. I'm just seeing Rick Seabrand's getting a bit out of shape there coming through turn 4. That might have been a bit scary for McConey, but they carry on regardless down towards the line. We are now 7 laps to go here, Frank.
Yep, certainly is now that top 2 has broken free of that outside lane. Francis trying so hard to just get right up to the corner of Trafari. Unfortunately, there's just something with that outside line and the way they're lined up, maybe. As you see poking out, that's James Lowe poking out to the 3rd lane behind Kessler in the 4. Not too much moving around right now as they're all trying to stay up in position. The problem is there are some guys that do need to start moving around and start moving up that are mired in the middle of this pack.
Yeah, and surprisingly, Carl Smalley and James Cato able to stay with this pack as well, as Brodie Smith will lead them across the line for 6 laps to go. Trafari still in second. Joe Francis scored in 3rd place, but Scott Warren is still on that inside line. They are trying to make a 3rd lane up there. You saw McConey flirting with that as you see James Lowe and Nick Kessler up there. Still neck and neck between James Pap and Aaron Tribble coming out of 2.
And there goes McConey to that outside lane. Pap is now going to possibly get a free position. As unfortunately for Pap, though, Francis and Seabrands just fall right off the face of the earth, and McConey goes from the 3rd car in that 2nd lane to the lead car in that 2nd lane, trying to get this win.
Yep, as they come down to the line now, 5 laps to go here at Daytona to finish off the regular season here, and who is going to claim that last race win? Brodie Smith, been looking for a race win all season, would love to get on the top step of the podium in the last race, but here comes Greg McConey on that outside line. Another driver that's been so unlucky this season trying to get a race win, really trying to push for that outside line for the race win as they come down the super stretch. With 5 to go here, it's neck and neck between the 12 and the 22 as they're going towards turn 3.
When Kessler gave Seabrands a shot going through turns 1 and 2 and got a big run going on to the back straightaway, and that's going to help that 12 get up to the front. Francis looking as though he's pushing a lot better than he's leading this group. He does have some damage on that 50, could be the reason why.
Yeah, and we're looking on Seabrands at the moment as they come out of the trial well in towards turn 1. 4 laps to go. It's neck and neck between Smith and McConey. Can McConey get a nose out in front? Francis doing everything he can to push him, but nothing seems to be working right now as they come down the super stretch again. coming to 3 laps to go here. This is where it all comes down to here, Frank. People pushing for the playoffs, and it's definitely gonna get nasty from here if they can't, if it goes any more south than it already is. I don't know why I said that, because that wasn't the word I was looking for.
Words are hard.
Yeah.
As we come to 3 laps to go, that is Greg McConey taking the lead. And from looking at what we saw earlier, Seabrand's not a great pusher, the 50 not a great leader. If I were McConey, the second I get a chance to move down in front of that 22, it's and a big wreck coming.
Yeah, and that is a big one there again. 3rd caution out on the track, and it is going to be
Tribble involved.
Yeah, Aaron Tribble is involved. He's wrecked his car. Rick Seabrand's involved. James Lowe involved as well. And Joe Francis getting the worst of that. He got pinned against the wall there.
Jason Papp got through it. So that right there could be Jason Papp into the playoffs.
Heartbreak for Aaron Tribble. Absolute heartbreak.
That just looked like a bad push from Seabrands, and now Seabrands is getting pushed by Kessler, and yep, Seabrands just pushed Joe Francis in that left rear corner, and you cannot do that in these cars. Otherwise, what you just saw happen is what happens.
Yeah, and like I said, Francis getting the worst of that when he got pinned against the wall. Tribble getting a big one as well. And James Lowe, who's been up there all night, getting a big one as well. As for the first time tonight, we are going to the playoffs. We're going to overtime here, Frank.
Yep, and that's about a half a lap away from not needing to go into overtime. Boy, oh boy, that was a really hard hit for Tribble on the inside wall. That was big.
Yeah, while they're just getting things figured out here, we're just going to take a small little break here as we need to take a breather for this last part. We'll be right back in just a second as we take just a couple of minutes of a breather. We'll be back right with you for this little bit of overtime. And welcome back here to Daytona. We are about to head into overtime here for this race, as we've seen another big incident here. Frank, just talk us through what just happened there for people that have just joined us.
It's coming through turn 2, kind of where they are right now. The 4 was given the 92 a big push. Unfortunately, the 92 clipped the 50 on the left rear corner, sending a big accident off. Jason Papp able to make it through. Papp coming into tonight just 3 points out of 16th position in the standings. And now pretty much him and Ryan Worley, who was already in on points, are all that remains. So Papp, with that accident, essentially locks himself into the playoffs.
We are down to 14 drivers on the lead lap here in this race. So anybody that's left, barring the seriously damaged cars, I'm not sure if Carl Smalley or James Cato or James Lowe can make it up there. But the rest of them in front of them, they are in with a shout of winning this one as they come out of turn 4. We're about to start overtime here with the iRacing E-Series. The regular season finale, as the pace truck about to peel off into pit road. It's between Brodie Smith and Greg McConey as they come down towards the line. Green flag in the air. We are racing once again. And who is going to claim the victory in this one? And just like any other week here, Frank, it's a toss-up between any one of those 14 drivers left on the lead lap.
It certainly is. And if I were to put money on somebody right now, I think it would be Greg McConey.
Caution.
He's got one of the caution is out, and I think I might know why.
As Cody Smith having to crash that.
No, Cody Smith was a little cheeky there and took the road course entrance at the start and then stopped it. Which brought out the caution.
So that is what caused that one. And
second green white checkered attempt. Second and final, by the way.
Yeah, second and final. We only have 2. So Cody Smith triggering the caution, and by cheekily going onto the road course there and just triggering that. That's. I'm not sure if that's because he felt like he was done, or he just, I don't know. That's just a weird one for me.
And it's doubly weird because of how we've seen it. We saw it last night with the USRA race. If you wreck far enough off the track, iRacing will not throw the caution in this most recent build. So the fact that he was that far off the racing surface and stopped, that to me, that's interesting that they would throw that caution.
Yep, as we bring you back to the dynamic cam here again, as we're under caution for the final time here tonight, and it's going to be Brodie Smith, that is the leader, Greg McConey in second, Connor Trafari third, Scott Warren in P4, Zacian Dwyer in P5, Brandon Wilson in P6, Nick Kessler P7, Mark Mann in P8, ninth is Ryan Worley. Now, Worley, as you mentioned before, he's another man that's looking to try and get himself into the playoffs here, sitting in P9 now, just ahead of Jason Papp.
Yeah, he was coming into tonight. Worley was 13 points to the good. So he is okay. It's Papp now is the one that needs to worry. I believe Greg McConey, of the drivers that are up front, I know Warren can. You go back to the point standings here. Warren can. I think Warren is the only one that can take that 16th place away from him by getting in via win.
So Scott Warren will be looking for a win out of this one, and he's in a good position. He's in P4 right now, and looking to finally shake off all that bad luck he's been having over the past few races. Greg McConey, he's looking for a win as well, as is Brodie Smith. These two are in a golden spot to try and get a win here tonight. Probably two of the most unluckiest drivers in the league.
Yeah, what I was saying right before that caution came out was if I were to pick somebody, I would say it's McConey because of we've seen how aggressive Warren has been drafting and bump drafting. So that to me would lead me to believe that McConey has a bit of an advantage if he can keep Warren behind him, which I think he certainly can.
Yeah, and with that caution coming out, that's put Chris Worrell back on the lead lap. So we have 15 drivers still on the lead lap here. I think Aaron Tribble is still in the race, but he's 4 laps down and he's still in pit road. I think he's back in pit road repairing damage. But 4 laps down, Jason Papp in the top 10. It's probably going to be a bit too little too late there for the man in the 86.
Yeah, no, there's no scenario right now to where he can catch back up or at least get close to the same lap. So it looks as though Papp is, again, barring a Warren win, or I believe is a Sean Duero win as well. No, Duera's in. Duera's in on points. So yeah, barring a Warren win, that is really Papp's position to lose right now.
Yeah, and Chris Worrell, a retirement here tonight. While being so far back as he is and he's only just got back on the lead lap, won't hurt him too much. He will claim the regular season championship after tonight, so won't be too disappointed with what's happened so far tonight.
Yeah, no, 52-point lead. We've seen him up at the front all season long, battling for race wins, has 2 of them. He has done an absolutely fantastic job in probably the most unpredictable form of racing that you can get.
I'm noticing Chris Worrell is not on track right now, I don't think. Is he? Oh, he's just catching up now. He's just come out of pit road as the lights are off on the pace truck. Frank, get us back to green for the final time tonight.
So heading through turn 3, it will be Brody Smith on the inside lane, Greg McConey on the outside. Connor Trafari and Scott Warren on the outside of row 2. Sean Duera and Nick Kessler, row 3. Brandon Wilson and Mark Mann, row 4, with Worley and Papp, row 5, as they come out of turn 4. Pace truck will be peeling off here momentarily. There he goes.
You're not live.
No, I'm not. You're right. I'm not live. We're back, Reed.
As they come out of 2 now with 2 laps to go, it's going to be between Greg McConey and Brody Smith. As actually McConey dropping back a little bit, is almost losing second place to Colin Trafari here as they come down the super stretch. Can they make it back to the white flag here as they come in towards turn 3? Brody Smith has the clear as they come out of turn 4 here, Frank.
I'm surprised Warren isn't giving McConey that push that we know that he can give, and that's leaving Brody Smith out with Connor Trafari alone, and we've seen it so many times as the white flag comes out. Will that 48 try to jump to the outside line? Well, now here comes McConey.
Yeah, McConey going to go high. Warren going to try and give him a push here with Brody Smith still out in front. Brandon Wilson is on that outside line as well with, I believe that's Mark Mann on the back of that one as well as they come down the super stretch for the final time as they come towards turn 3. Bit out of shape there coming down towards turn 3 as well as here we go. Final part of this one. Bring us to the line here, Frank.
Yep, coming through 3 and 4. Trafari, very wiggly Trafari, managing to keep it on that inside lane. Brody Smith trying to come up to block McConey. Does successfully. McConey tries to get to the inside, but it will be Brody Smith winning the regular season finale at Daytona.
Yep. Oh, it's Carl Smalley just finishing off the season in style as Brody Smith finally gets the race win he's been searching for all season, and it comes in the final race of the season.
Yep, and because it was not Scott Warren to pick up the win, at least by my maths, Jason Papp will make it into the playoffs.
Yep, as we look at the race winner there of Brody Smith, and he's going to be very, very happy to have brought that one home across the line. Greg McConey, even though he finished second, will be happy to have finished in a much higher position than he has been before, as we're going to bring them down for the waiting for interviews rooms. As Frank, another exciting finish here tonight.
Yeah, without a doubt. Again, just another. This series really does not. It never fails. It never fails to provide a great race. It's been fantastic.
Yep, as I'm still looking for drivers here, as looking for Brody Smith. I can't find him. Oh, there he is. As we are going to get the interviews underway, and we're going to bring up the race winner here for tonight, Brody Smith. Frank, I believe you're with him right now.
Yep, Brody, took you long enough, but you finally got into victory lane. Congratulations,
man. I'm just so happy. I worked my teammate Connor Trafari and Zishan, and we just executed. I missed that big one with the balls out guys, and we just. I don't know, man. I'm so happy. It's been a long time coming. I'm the man.
You certainly are tonight. Kind of a different race strategy from you from what we've usually seen. The first 2/3 of the race, you were hanging around in the back, and then when it clicked over to 30 laps to go, you made your way up towards the front, and we saw you do what you're able to do all season long. Why the change in mentality tonight?
Well, I've been doing the strategy for about 3 or 4 weeks now, but Zishan, my teammate, hooked Cody last week right when I got to the front, so I was like, all right, I'm going to ride, and then we got to the first pit stop, and then the caution came out. I was running like second, and I was like, okay, I'll just come in top off, and then it came to it in the end. We were racing up front, I think P3, and like I said, the balls got in it, and we were able to miss it, and then at the end, it was just working with my teammates, and my teammate kind of got squirrely there at the end, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to win it. And then I was able to throw a perfect block and get the win. So just really happy, really appreciative for the guys I have around me, and it's awesome to get back in victory lane. I led 43 laps last time we were in this car track, and Derek Pemberton lagged through me, so it feels good to get this one.
So starting the playoffs next week, we go into the less favored truck for next week. How do you feel about going into the trucks to start the playoffs?
Suck, but I feel confident, and no matter what I'm in, I can win. And that's just the most important thing. I can win in anything, in any track, and I really don't care. It's just a different paint scheme for me. That's all.
All right. You got your team in. Anybody else you want to thank here tonight?
Yeah, my brother. He was spotting me through the last few corners. He got his earlier in the season, and now I got mine. So we have a group chat that says IES Superspeedway winners on Messenger, and it says IES Superspeedway winners with Brody Smith. So now we can change that.
Oh. Yeah, very, very well. Certainly can change that. There's your winner tonight to round out the regular season, Brody Smith. Bud, congratulations.
Thank you.
That was Brody Smith joining us in the booth. Now joining me is another man that's had so much bad luck this season, finally making it up to the second step of the podium at least. Greg McConey, second here at Daytona. Good way to finish off the season, the regular season.
Yeah, that was a heck of a race. I got to thank the 17 for the pushing at the end there. He did fantastic. We, like you guys said, this is my first top 5 of the season, and it comes at the last race of the year. So, yeah, rough season, but we're in the playoffs. We're in a good spot. We actually have all 4 dudes racing cars in. Jason was able to beat out Tribble for that last spot. So, yeah, we're going to go into the playoffs, see what we can do.
Yeah, and this has been a season of such bad luck for yourself there, Greg. Obviously, like you said, this is your first top 5 of the season. Despite wherever you finish, this regular season, one to put behind you and just start again in the playoffs?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's things you learn out of each race, but going into the playoffs with a bit of momentum certainly helps a lot.
And that it does. And speaking of the playoffs, next week we head back to Daytona in the less favored vehicle. We go into it with the trucks. What are your thoughts heading into it with that one?
They're not my favorite, but it's we're gonna do what we can. The big problem with the trucks is they just get so loose once you're in the draft. So the key is gonna be staying smooth, staying smart, and get as many points as you can.
All right, and before I let you go and celebrate your first podium of the season, anyone you want to give a shout out to, say thanks to?
I got to thank Circle B Diecast, iRacing, iFlag, Butt Kicker, AC Paint, Midwest Motor Customs, which is my company. I got to thank all the guys at Dudes Racing, Jason, Brandon, Ryan Worley. I got to thank the 17 for the pushing at the end. Brody put on a heck of a race. That was fantastic. Everybody that supports us, everybody that watches this league, we thank you all. We love the participation, and let's get into the playoffs.
All right, Greg McConey in the body armor number 12, bringing it home in second place. Congratulations, and we'll see you next week in the trucks.
Sounds good, Sam. Thank you.
So that was Greg McConey, a very happy Greg McConey, finally getting a podium here this season. Now we're going to speak to the last man on the podium, and Frank, you're with him right now.
I am. That is Connor Trafari. Connor, third place finish. Push your teammate to that win, essentially. Great night for you and your team.
Yeah, it was a good way to close out the regular season, getting my teammate a win and 5 crucial bonus points for the playoffs, which will really help us both in the start of it. So all around a good night for us.
It was. You found yourself up at the front a lot, and really just the Red Seas sort of parted for you on that big accident with all the balls out guys. What were you able to see from your vantage point getting through that wreck?
Okay, so I think I was third on the outside, and I see someone get turned up high, so I was like, I gotta get down to the very bottom, and I somehow do it. I think I may have turned Kyle. I think there's a little bit of netcode because I went through his car, but I made it through that wreck and got right behind Brody, and then we just got set up for the last 2 green light checkers.
Right, and with this being, as you mentioned, the end of the regular season, we go into the playoffs next week. You won the season opener here at Daytona at night in the trucks. That's where we're going next week, and the car we're driving next week to start the playoffs. What do you think your chances are of a repeat?
It is a Superspeedway series, so it's not guaranteed, but I think my chances are a little higher since I did get the win there in the same conditions. But I do feel a little more confident going with the trucks at Daytona.
All right, and anyone you want to thank before we let you go celebrate the top 3?
Zishan, Brody, Nick, Elijah, all my teammates, just for doing some good teamwork there that race. Circle B Diecast, iRacing, iFlag, Butt Kicker, AC Paints, Midwest Motor Customs, and Jason and all the admins for helping to put on this league.
All right, there he is, your third place finisher, Connor Trafari. Bud, congratulations.
Yep, thank you.
So that was Connor Trafari joining us in the booth. Now I want to reach out to the man that just pointed his way into the playoffs and is the league owner at the end of this regular season. Jason, perhaps I'm up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
End of the regular season, you just, by the skin of your teeth, pointed your way into the playoffs. Got to be happy with how things turned out tonight.
I was very nervous and very cautious this evening. I was just trying to keep up with the 86. I feel bad that he didn't get in, but, I'll take it.
Yeah, and with how things have turned out all season, obviously you're the league owner of iRacing E-Series. The Superspeedway series been pretty successful this year round. I mean, so many different winners and lots of really close competition for you guys out there.
Yeah, we've got a really good group of drivers here. For whatever reason, every Superspeedway season we have, the first 2 or 3 or even 4 races are kind of hectic, but then everybody kind of settles in, and we've had some really good racing. You guys saw it tonight. They were 3 wide up there, 4 deep for quite a bit. and never had any issues. It's just a testament to their skills and how good they are and how good this league is.
Absolutely, and with Monday being the last race of the season as well, on that respective, it looks like you guys are really hitting your stride now. Championship being decided on Monday, playoffs beginning next Friday. You got to be looking forward to these next few weeks now.
Yeah, it's exciting. On the Monday side, I'm not very competitive, but I'm kind of learning as I go. But it's so much fun watching those guys on Monday nights. Kyle, Marcus, James Lowe, even Cody. So they're always up front. It's pretty neat to see the battles that they have, and they race each other so clean. I'm really looking forward to Monday's race.
All right, and with yourself going into next week, first race of the playoffs, you just made your way in after a very hectic race here tonight. New mindset going into next week with the first race in the trucks.
Oh yeah, we're starting over fresh. Everybody's points get reset at 5 or 1,000 points or whatever it's going to be, and then the people who have won races will have an additional 5 bonus points. So I'm not too far behind. I'm hoping my luck turns around, and we've got a little bit different of a format this season. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that stuff plays out.
All right, Jason. Congratulations on getting into the playoffs. Well deserved for yourself. Anyone you want to give a shout out, say thanks to before we let you go?
Yeah, our league sponsor, Circle B Diecast. They've been great partners for us. It's really neat being able to get discounts on some diecasts through them. And iRacing, iFlag, Butt Kicker, AC Paints, and Midwest Motor Customs, and also my teammates today for sticking with me, kind of helping me, keep up in the back. I couldn't have done it without them. I owe each and every one of them some good pushes here during the playoffs. Try to get everybody a win, and I think it's going to be cool. But yeah, everybody that helps with the league. Sean's been doing awesome with social media. There's just a lot of people, and you all are do a fantastic job. I couldn't be any happier.
All right, well, Jason, congratulations on a successful regular season. Congratulations for getting yourself into the playoffs as well. And yeah, we'll see you next week when we start the real business end of the competition as we start the playoffs.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
That was Jason Papp joining us in the booth there, and Frank, good words from the league owner there.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, he has every right to be proud of his league and the way they've performed here, especially on Friday nights. We've been privy to the Friday nights. We'll get a taste of the Monday nights coming up in a couple of days, but it's been absolutely fantastic what these guys have been able to do all season long. And now with the races really ramping up and really meaning something, now that we're getting down towards a fight for the playoffs, only 5 races left in the season, I can't wait to see what these guys can do.
Absolutely, and with that, let's go to the results for tonight's race, and it's been an absolute barn burner, as it always is with these guys. But let's take a look at your finishing order as Brody Smith comes home with his first race win of the season. Been trying all season long, but finally gets it on the top step of the podium. Greg McConey coming home in second for his first top 3 of the season as well, and Connor Trafari rounding out your top 3. Scott Warren just missing out there in P4, and Nick Kessler rounding out your top 5. Great result for him. Zayshan Dwera in P6. 7th going to Brandon Wilson. 8th to Ryan Worley. 9th to Jason Papp, and Zach Bowman rounding out your top 10. With Kyle Smalley in P11, James Lowe in P13, and James Cato rounding out your top 13 there, Frank.
Yep, it'll be Mark Mann finishing in 14th, last car on the lead lap. Chris Worrell finishing 15th, 1 lap down. 2 cars finishing 8 laps down. It'll be Rick Seabrands and Aaron Tribble. 10 laps down in 18th position, Joe Francis. 17 laps down, and 19th position, Gene Cato. Cody Smith finishes 18 laps down in 20th. Marcus Adams, 20 laps down in 21st. Michael Anthony, 22 laps down in 22nd. And Jason Kinzer and Elijah Innes finishing 23rd and 24th, 65 laps down. Nicholas Wing finishing 67 laps down and 25th tonight.
So that is going to do it for us here on ESPN with the iRacing E-Series. Big shout out to the sponsors: Circle B Diecast, Butt Kicker, iRacing, iFlag, AC Paints, and Midwest Motor Customs. Don't forget, you can catch us tomorrow afternoon when we go racing for the first time in Season 2 of the E-Formula Series with the Formula 3.5s. Definitely looking forward to that one. Going to be great racing at Monza. Then on Sunday, we're back with the MPI Cup Series and the Dirt Esports Dirt Championship Esports, whatever it is. And so that's Sunday's schedule. Monday, we are back with the iRacing E-Series as they finish off their Cup Series, and we will see a new champion crowned there. Tuesday, we have WSRL and Trucks, and then Wednesday, we have the Sim Racers Edge as they go to Phoenix. Well, that is going to do it for us here at Daytona with the iRacing E-Series, and it was Brody Smith bringing home the win here in the final race of the regular season. But that is going to do it for me and my broadcast partner, Frank Marchese. All that's left for me to say right now is keep it clean, keep it green, and we will catch you tomorrow afternoon for E-Formula. Have a good night.
I am 1,000% honest. I am already on you. I am looking to find that out right now. I got my settings. I got my personal settings